Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Of the Comics. Please put your hands together for your host, Mr. Morgan J.
Keep it going, guys. Do not stop. Welcome to Of the Comics. I am Morgan J. I'm your host, your first comedian. Tonight is Can we get the guitar on? Can we get the guitar? Skilly-dilly-doo-doo-doo-doo. Do you guys hear it? But do you hear it though, really? Because it was on like a lot louder earlier, or is it just me? Because I feel like it's all the way up, and do you hear it coming through the speaker? You really do? Oh, because they turned the monitors off? Is that what happened? Now I'm confused. I don't know if you hear it or not. Pat, do they hear it? Do you hear it in the speaker? All right. Oh, you all lied to me. This is hearing it. Wait, is it coming through the monitor? Is that what it? Okay, so you really hearing it? Okay. Guys, this is my first time doing this. I know it's a bold choice by the producer to put somebody so fresh and green on stage. Welcome, Friday Night Bellflower. Are you guys on a date tonight? What day number is this? Oh, you've been married for 12 years. Give it up for them. 12 is a long time. It's a long time to be married. It's a long time for anybody to be married. Anybody been together longer than that? 31 years? Give it up for them. Their love is better than your love. Your love is weak. No, I'm just messing with you. Anybody been together longer than 31 years? I didn't think so. The rest of y'all are losers. Guys, we're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna be singing songs. Oh man, I'm a big first date, second date act. You know, people bring their is anybody? You guys in the booth in the corner? What date number is this for you? You lost count? Married 17. Their love is also better than your love, but it's not the best love in the room. What about you two? You on a date tonight? 5 years. They just skipped to it. They're like, here's the answer. Don't waste time. How did you two meet? Suspicious. What kind of work was that? Retail? You know, I used to work at a popular retail store that sells computers with a fruit. You know what I'm talking about? I quit because they were gonna fire me low-key. I was giving everybody discounts. I was like, you walked in, I'd be like, you get a discount. I was like, Oprah, you get a discount, and you get a discount. Dude, one time my coworker, well, actually 2 weeks before I quit, I gave a discount, and my coworker was like, Morgan, did you give those people a discount? I was like, yeah. And she couldn't really rap. You know, there's two types of people at work. There's the type of person that, drinks the Kool-Aid. And then there's the type of person that makes the Kool-Aid, you know what I'm saying? And she made the Kool-Aid. And she couldn't really wrap her brain around the fact that, none of this matters. And I was like, yeah, I gave them discount. She was like, why? Because I was like, this is very expensive. Why else? If you're mad about that, I've been stealing for years. Well, this first song, I have a hard time sharing a bed with somebody. You guys been together 12 years. What size bed you got? California, you see that? What about you in the back, 31 years? What size bed you got? King bed, that's right. What about you? What size bed you got? That's right. If you got a queen bed, you could finance a king bed. Could use like a firm or a shot, whatever it is. But I have a hard time sharing a bed, so this first song is about the reality of sharing a bed. Here we go. Baby, get your cold freaking feet off of me. You ever have your girl, she puts her feet, you're like, get off of me! Get off! Get off! Get off, what are you doing? Cause I'm trying to go to sleep. If you wanna sleep together, stay on your side of the bed. Cause you're breathing, this is relatable to just her. You're breathing on the back of my neck. It's super hot and gross. It still kinda smells like dinner. Did you brush your teeth? I'm trying to freaking go to sleep. Why do you sweat so much? Baby, you're hogging every inch of the blanket. You just farted on my. I said farted. You just farted on my leg, and I smell it. Girl, I got dreams of my own. Please stop snoring. You just cut me with your toe. I think that I'm bleeding. It's a lot of blood. What is going on your toe? A pedicure's like $15. This is heavy flow. I'm getting lightheaded. We're gonna have to change the sheets. I'm trying to freaking go to sleep. I'm trying to. Do you want a window open? Do you wanna fall asleep on my arm? Do you want a warm glass of milk? Do you want some white noise on white noise solo? Shh. Shh. Sounds of the city. Pop, 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 pop. Guys, you ready for your next comedian? I've had the pleasure of doing so many shows with this next. We actually met doing the intro doesn't really matter. You're gonna love him. Please make a lot of noise for Mr. Armando Anto.
Big round of applause for Morgan J. Hey, good evening. Change of style. I heard we have birthday people. I got a request. Happy birthday. You know, actually, Morgan is my buddy, but most comedians, they don't like me. They call me the prop comic. And I do get it because I do bring something else to the stage, you know? Talent. Also, comedians, they don't like me because I don't swear. Tonight, I'm not going to use the F word. Instead, I'm going to use the F chord. Yeah. So, as you can hear, I was born and raised in France, La France. Yes, I was born and raised in France, but my parents come from another romantic country, Iran. Yeah, I wrote a beautiful piece of music that really shows the relationship between a beautiful country of Iran and America. It's called the American-Iranian Concerto. I hope you enjoy. There you go. and, and if you want to download this music, it's on CNN. Now, I actually became an American 15 years ago, and I'm very proud to be an American. Yeah, it's a great country. I love America because where I grew up in France, they never accepted me. And then I moved to Texas, and over there, they accepted me. As a Mexican, but they accept mi familia, you know. And I never forget my citizenship test, you know, because the first test was the reading test. I had to read the sentence, I can read in English. So I did. And then the writing test was, I can write in English, but I'm a funny guy. So I wrote, I cannot write in English. And I passed the test. Because the auditor could not read either. Anyways, I see we have a lot of couples. Clap tonight if you're in a happy relationship. Happy relationship? Oh, now clap if she was making you clap. Yeah. I love my wife because she really thinks like a man, you know? She really thinks like a man, like she's super cool. She loves sports, and she never cares about my feelings. but when I love somebody, I love to give them a hard time. Like, I love to play the violin while she cries. It's a real passion that I have. So my wife is from Mexico City, and I'm from France, and we really want the kids to speak Spanish and French, so we say everything in the three languages. For example, for the parking, in French is le parking, in Espanol is el estacionamiento, and in Los Angeles, where we live, there is no parking. So we don't teach that word. So I'm a violin teacher, can you imagine that? Yeah. And clap if you have children. Children, see, let's talk about those dream killers. I really believe that every child I teach can learn that they are not good at violin. Because in France, it's really hard, the school system. Like, I give you an example. Like, in America, if a child's average grade is D, we still send him to the next grade. You know that? While in France, if a child's average grade is D, we send him to America. That's why I'm here. I like to end my set with a real beautiful song. This is a song I chose for tonight. It's a beautiful Arabic love song we play at weddings. I hope you enjoy. You guys have no musical taste. I'm gonna play something more refined. My name is Armando Anto, guys. Thank you so much.
Armando. I want you to keep that same energy for your next act. He performs literally all over the world. Please welcome Mr. Chris Turner.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not from your country. Sorry. Hi, I'm Chris. I don't have a chin. It's me. People at the back of the room, you're missing out on the joke. Don't worry. There you go. There is my face. Don't feel bad. You're covering your chin like you don't want me to cry. Don't worry. You all got chins here. You're killing it. I can still do everything you guys can do. Except fold a towel. you for laughing at my face. My parents tried to get me to learn the violin when I was younger, and the teacher was like, he has no chin, he cannot do it. He needs the grip. Where's the grip? So instead, I did stand-up comedy. It's such an exciting thing for me to be here on the West Coast doing this, because my dream is to be a rapper. That's my goal. And growing up, I listened to Dr. Dre, and I wanted to be like him. I was 12, though, so I didn't understand it. I thought his name was pronounced Dr. E. But that's what I'm here to do. That's my musical comedy. I am a rapper, and I know you hear my accent, you're like, is that how bad Brexit went? Their main export now is freestyle rap and baking shows. Those are the two things we do. I do freestyle rap. I make up rap on the spot based on your suggestions. So that's what I'm going to do with you guys tonight. I'm going to ask you, everyone here, think of a word, a topic, or a phrase you'd like a rap about. But there's some rules, okay? Don't suggest food or animals. That's the most common things our brains think of. It's too easy to rap about. It'd be boring. Number 2, nothing too obvious. So don't be like, you've not got a chin, because I will also cry, but it's too obvious. And don't be like weirdly British. Don't just say the Queen or anything you think I could imagine you'd say. And number 3, be creative. The best suggestion I ever got was from a German man who said, a day in the life of an Aztec high priest. Let's see your rap about that, Englishman. Be as creative as Klaus. You can have fun with it. We'll take 5 random topics, then we'll drop a beat, do a freestyle. And we'll kind of divide you guys up into segments so everyone gets a fair go. If you're sat over here, you guys here, what do you want to hear a rap about? Bath salts. Lovely stuff. That's what people huff to get high, right? Yeah. My gosh, what a great life you must live, sir. That was the first thing that came to your brain. Bath salts. We'll go to the booths next, because these are the classier people. We're not going to get bath salts from them. Yeah, in the corner, what would you like a rap about? I beg your pardon? Lamassu, the Syrian winged, but the Assyrian. Thank you very much for clarifying that. I don't know if I don't really know what the difference is between Syria and Assyria. I think Assyria is a civilization that does not exist anymore, does it? It is here? You're from Assyria? Assyria? Gosh, I apologize if my country ever owned your country. That's all I can say. It's really the safest thing is to assume and then be proved otherwise. Lamassu, the Assyrian winged bull. That's a real step up from bath salts, sir. That's excellent. Did someone in the corner have one as well, the other booths? What did you want to rap about? Golfing. Are you a keen golfer, sir? You try. What would you say your favorite aspect of golfing is? The drive. Okay, cool. Driving when it comes to golf. Lamassu, bath salts. Was there a hand up down? Yeah, you've got a suggestion. What would you like a rap about? Playing Mahjong on Mars. Thank you. Wow, you really... Because even just the start of that, I was like, I'm not really sure what that is, and then you added a planet into it. So playing... You guys don't play around out here. That's good. And then we'll come to this side of the room. We've got tables here, we've got booth at the back. What do you guys want to rap about? Solving a Rubik's Cube underwater in the ocean. Good. Because I was going to say, well, if you're saying if you're saying in the ocean, well, maybe you'd be on the surface doing it. So no, that's correct. You could be. Is that how you imitated treading water? Great. Lamassu, the Assyrian winged bull. Bath salts. Driving when it comes to golf. Solving a Rubik's Cube underwater in the ocean, and Mahjong on Mars. This, lovely people of the Stand-Up Comedy Club, is going to be a freestyle. Why are you laughing already? You're like, oh, this is going to be terrible. No, it's going to be good. It's going to be about all those things, and do not worry. It will not be as bad as you're expecting a privately educated, middle-class, white British boy to be. Do me a favour, if we can drop that beat. Why are you going what? That's what you're meant to say. Sorry, what do you expect me to be like? Press play, DJ. No, this is going to be amazing based on all your suggestions. Get excited. Let's do this. We're starting with you, sir. On the links I never think, yeah, I just strive. Thriving when I hit the club and I drive. Flying through the air 200 yards. I'm coming in ever so strong, ever so hard. Picking on my iron, yes, I'm a legend. Got my caddy, you know I gotta get the wedge in. Chip it up, out of the bunker. Teeing off, you know I'm the hunk. I'm really dominating the clubhouse. Buying all the drink when the hole in one, that's what I'm about. I've gotta be careful, keeping in my head. I see you go over left with the dog leg. Never keep it in the rough. I shout 4 if I hit that extra tough. And if I wanna shoot out the stratosphere, I'm like Elon Musk. I'll be out of here, I'm on the red planet. I slam it down when I land. I've got a Chinese board game in my hand. Take a little smile when I'm placing the tile. Mahjong, it can take you a while. You gotta make sure that you're matching the symbol. No atmosphere, it's not simple. Gotta wear the astronaut suit. I never played Mahjong, but I'll ask you. I love the front row, starting to clap. Really getting into the freestyle rap with the British guy. We love this dude. Out in the water, the Rubik's Cube. He can prove, got a big brain. Do it in the water, not in the rain. I'm under in the ocean. I can prove to you, I can solve it while I scuba deep beneath the surface. I mentioned I'm down do in the Marianas Trenchant. Get the squares, move it around. I love this, jumping up, I'm outbound. Feel so happy, feel my heart full when I see Lamassu, that Assyrian bull. He's coming in. I say, what's this thing coming from the past with the magical wings? Landing, he says moo. Why? Cause he's a bull, that's what he do. Kinda like Pegasus from the Middle East. I got one last thing to say the least. I'm really feeling so bored, so tired. Go and lie back, yeah, you know I aspire to be like the guy. It's not my fault that you wanna spend your weekend with bath salts. What do you do when your life's boring? Go to the cupboard where your mum's storing. You pull it out, you say, oh yes, I'm gonna get this and get undressed. I run myself a bath ever so smoothly. Get down there right in the jacuzzi. Sniff, then I'm off my brain. You'll never think of the Rubik's Cube again. There we go. You guys are amazing. Thank you very, very much. My name's Chris Turner. Good night.
Give it up for Chris Turner. Wow. You guys gave him a standing ovation, huh? Wow. How do you think that makes Armando and me feel, huh? You think we feel good about that? Wow, okay. Wow, all right, I'll freestyle. Drop the beat, okay? No, this is what's gonna happen right now. Right now, we're gonna reset the stage real quick. We're gonna have a little bit of a, why don't you come up, Pat? We're gonna do a little roundtable discussion. We're gonna talk a little bit to Armando, to me, to Chris, who you guys obviously love the most, which is fine. No, it's fine. Welcome back to Of the Comics. Thank you so much. I am Morgan J. I'm the MC. Give it up for Chris and Armando over here. Show them some love. And I want to start off with something easy. You know, we were in the green room having a really nice discussion, really fun discussion, but we're going to keep it simple right now. I want to start with Chris. Chris, you know, you're doing the freestyle raps. I don't want to say this, but you don't look like a rapper, a traditional rapper. How did you go to incorporate the music and the comedy and the freestyle into your act? How did you get that in there?
So I was rapping, what I say on stage is true. I started rapping when I was 12, just because I loved it. I was listening to it. I was like, this is really fun.
Just like Jay-Z and the Marcy Projects, right?
Exactly, yeah. And I was like, this is really fun. Then I started doing stand-up when I was 19, and I never thought of combining the two because I just thought of them as separate things. Like, I'd never seen anyone do, like, comedy and rap, like, in shows that I'd seen. So I was like, oh, that's not a thing you can do. And then when I started hosting like kids comedy shows, kids are really hard to make laugh. They don't like jokes. Like you do a funny joke and they're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I had to impress them somehow. So what I'd do is I'd like just rap for them. I'd be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a race car driver. You're like, cool, this is a rap about Tommy the race car driver.
Yeah.
And a critic who hated my comedy, thought I was rubbish, was like, you know, that's quite good. If you did that, you could be a comedian.
Wow.
And so I started doing it in, like, you know, comedy shows for adults, and they like it even more than children.
What was like What was because that's how what was the first show like? Actually, same question to you, Armando. Like, how did you incorporate it into your act?
I was a classical violinist, and then I needed a challenge, so I started stand-up. Because it's not my first language. And so I took a stand-up class, and for like few months I was doing just straight stand-up. And then my coach, he said, "What do you do for a living?" And I'm like, "I'm a classical violinist." He said, "You're a classical violinist? Bring the violin."
Yeah.
And I was like, how are we going to make that funny?
Yeah. No, it's great. Well, let me ask you this, because I was doing stand-up for about 5 or 6 years. I had a couple of opportunities. I was doing straight jokes, straight stand-ups, and I kind of creatively was not feeling it. And then I was playing guitar for my friends, kind of making fun of people, messing around at home, and they were like, "You should." It feels like somebody all told us, like, no, you should do that.
I used to look down on musical comedians.
Oh, yeah. Everybody does.
When Pat asked me to do this show, he was like, do the musical comedy showcase. I was like, I'm not a musical comedian.
Yeah.
But like, I used to, like, the saying among comedians was if you had a guitar, it was called a 6-string applause machine.
Oh, yeah.
Because the idea was you could just finish a song and people would clap.
Absolutely.
And people were like, why don't they just write a funny joke? And then you start doing it and you realize,
it's a bit harder than that.
You have to write the jokes. Your songs are full of like really good observations and jokes that if you did them without a guitar would still be funny. But then you combine it and it's that kind of comes together and people are like, oh, that's even more fun.
Did you guys have the experience of when I first started incorporating it into my act, because I sang alone for myself. I didn't think I had a voice like Beyonce or anything like that. But I would like shake on stage with the guitar. I mean, obviously I don't do that now. I mean, I'm not getting standing ovations, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm doing okay. But
this would be really fun if we edit this so that there's no standing ovation and Morgan just has this chip on his shoulder.
People keep getting standing ovations and it's not me, okay?
It's funny that he's the one standing up for that as well.
Listen, I will.
He's trying to do that kind of like,
No, but when
CBT to make you all do it.
I have a question for you.
Oh yeah, go on. Sorry, Morgan. You've also had your job stolen now.
Yeah, that's correct. Do you think you're more of a rapper or a comedian?
I think. No, I'm definitely.
It's a very good
I get that all the time.
Yeah,
music.
I am a comedian who raps. Because people sometimes go, "Why don't you release an album?" Like, because it would be so bad. It would be so. If I I make it up. If I wrote something, what am I going to rap about? Like, have a loving wife, a nice apartment, and a child who loves me.
Yeah.
It's like,
he's just going to be rapping about
get standing ovations.
No, his only struggle is the no chin. You know what I mean? It's like 10 tracks about the I got no chin in the streets out here. You know?
But do you find it hard because I find it hard to incorporate sometimes the instrument into the comedy.
Yeah,
because you do songs, that's different, but it's like...
Yeah, I mean, when I was doing stand-up for a while, and then there was like 2 or 3 years into the writing of the songs, I noticed people really liked the interaction. Just the same way I'm learning that people like to feel a part of the show. So no matter what we do, when you go home, it feels like it feels like a unique and a special experience. We're all gonna go home and like it's part of our our history, and so like. What do you think makes us stand apart from normal stand-up comedy? Because I know when we walk into a venue, we get looks from our fellow comics. They're like, "What are you doing? Oh, here we go."
That's right. I wrote the talent joke just for that, man.
Exactly.
They hate us.
You have to acknowledge it. Yeah.
We have. I walk with a violin, and people are like, "Why the heck does he have a violin?" So I have to address that. I have to make it funny. I find it simpler to just walk on stage without the violin, but I want to use the violin.
Yeah.
What sets us apart? I still think it's the same though. It's still, you don't feel like you're a variety act on the show. I don't think like I do stand-up gigs and like when I'm on stage, say I'm doing like a longer set, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm not doing rap the whole time. I'm telling jokes. And so what's fun for me is to do 20 minutes of jokes and the audience will be laughing like, this is really fun. And then I go, and also I rap. And people go, ha, what a good joke. And then you do it, and like the highest compliment for me, and like the highest compliment is when people go, "Oh, we liked you," and then you did the rap, and it was even more amazing. Sometimes people go, "I liked you until you rapped."
Yeah. Right. Interesting. Yeah. When you look at like influences, right? Because we get these questions: who are your favorite comedians? Who are your favorite acts that you follow? Do you guys look towards musicians more than you would like to a traditional stand-up? Are you looking at like MCs, like rappers? Are you looking, is Mozart, your comedic influence? Or
He's hilarious, man. You should listen. He's great.
No, but like when you look at influences, like who do you kind of look up to, or who are you kind of looking at?
In stand-up?
In stand-up, well, that's the thing, right? Are we looking at musicians, or are we looking at... Because I like R&B music. I listen to a lot of R&B music, and I vibe with that, and I let that inform my act a little bit. So I don't know about you guys.
I listen any kind, but mainly classical. I live in the Baroque time.
Oh, yeah?
That's the problem.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm much more influenced by stand-up. Because that's what you're influenced by what you're around, and every night we're at comedy clubs.
Sure.
And so I'm watching everyone else do stand-up, and I'm going, I wish it could be as funny as them. And that's the goal is to be really funny, and it's how you get there. It doesn't really matter, right? Whether you're doing.
Yeah, we were in the green room just talking about how we kind of wish we were stand-ups, like straight stand-ups, because then we wouldn't have to get here like an hour or two before the show. You don't understand. We have to get here way before every other act on a lineup.
You have to fly with a guitar.
You have to fly with a guitar.
You have to tune the instrument.
You have to tune. You have to like. He was having a nightmare with the feedback and the audio, and you have to make sure the beat and the levels are right, and it's really hard. And honestly, I think a lot of us deserve a standing ovation, is what I'm saying. So it's just that.
Not gonna let it go.
It's just that we're working really hard. Do you guys have any questions for us? Any curiosity about what we do up here, or my guy in the back? Yeah, have we ever collaborated together? We have, and we will before this show is over, I think. Yeah?
No, but we actually collaborated. We went during COVID, we went in the streets, and we'll follow. Yeah, you can find it on YouTube. So me and Morgan, we just talk to random people, drive them insane with our guitar and violin.
Yeah, just some man on the street stuff. You guys did something together too, right?
Yeah, with this guy, I stopped the cops, remember?
Yeah, I was freestyle rapping at people on their balconies in the apartment block where you lived while you played violin as beats, and then police officers came and
I told them, I said, do you care for a concert? I was with my tuxedo, they stopped right away, man.
And they just pulled their guns out and pointed them at him immediately. And I said, officers, I think there's been a misunderstanding, and it was all cleared up.
And what's crazy?
We're both illegal at that time.
Yeah.
So.
That's very true,
That's true, they're both immigrants, that's right. What's crazy is I saw the video. At the end, he gets a standing ovation from the cops. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's not gonna stop.
I'm gonna keep milking that joke. I'm gonna keep milking that energy.
I hope they do one on the second show. Another one.
Anybody else have any questions in the audience over here?
Have you ever wanted to stop stand-up comedy?
Oh, all the time. I mean, I've been doing this like 15, 16 years now, and there's just times you're just like in the middle of nowhere in like Knoxville, Tennessee, and there's like nothing but an Applebee's and a Taco Bell.
Talk about your New Year Eve. The New Year
Oh my God! Oh yeah. I mean, I got booed on New Year's Eve this year. I'm like, I've been on TV. My career is going pretty well. I was doing a show in the South Side of Chicago. It was like a New Year's Eve show, and there was two shows. There's a Friday night show and there's a Saturday night show. Friday night show went great, but then Saturday night I just changed my setup a little bit, and like. I had about 2 or 3 minutes left, and then one woman was like, "Get off the stage!" And then, it was honestly the opposite of a standing ovation. If we really think about it, it's kind of when you think about it, it comes full circle. But then it was a room about 3,500 to 4,000 people, and then one person says that, and then everybody kind of jumps on board, and then it was about 1,000 people booing me off, and I got off. And
what you need to know is I went on right after him, and you can imagine what happened.
He got a standing ovation. No, but I want to say, do you guys have any? You were talking about that gig you had in.
There's so many. People love hearing bad gig stories, which is weird because it's quite hard for us to relive them, I think, sometimes. But also, what people need to understand is, like, my third gig, I wasn't even booed off stage. I was silenced off stage. That's how bad I was. I did 5 minutes, and the first 2 minutes were fine. And then I did a joke that one guy didn't like, and he was like, no. And I was like, what? He's like, no. And the rest of the crowd were like, yeah. And so I kind of do a couple more jokes, and just nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And the final joke, I did the punchline. And the guy who said no just went, tumbleweed.
Oh my God.
And I walk off stage and I go back to my notebook where I used to rank what my gigs were like. And and I wrote 5 out of 10.
Wow.
I thought that being silenced off stage was a 5 out of 10 gig. And you have to have that mindset to do stand-up because you have to
Yeah.
get over the bad gigs
No,
because you're
I did
bad.
that too.
Right?
I did that too. I graded my sets. So in order to, it's really hard not to take like bad sets personally. So you have to find these tools to like distance yourself. So I would grade my sets on like timing, presence, material, focus, and then so that way if it does go bad, you're like, all right, well they don't just like hate me
I
completely.
enjoy them.
You enjoy them?
I mean,
well, I was
it
gonna say
doesn't
for
happen
you,
often, but when it
well,
does.
well, before you were doing stand-up, right? You're doing classical music. You're
Yeah.
doing concerts. You're probably doing performances. Like, what is the equivalent of bombing, like on a?
Well, it's
in a
hard
cl-
because I mean, if I'm playing a concert,
He's like, it's hard because I'm so perfect. I never mess
exactly.
up.
No, but like if I'm playing a concerto and people start laughing, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's not that direct feedback. Is you play for yourself,
Right.
and people applause. That's why I love stand-up, is because that direct, feedback from people. But yeah, I started stand-up because I was also looking for the hard times. Because if it was just perfect the whole time, then it would not be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that keeps you spicy, right?
Absolutely.
It's what happened on New Year. that
Absolutely.
keeps it
It's like a
interesting.
very humbling thing.
I mean, I think you have to be certifiably mad to do stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yes.
you really, I mean, and lots of people are.
Has anybody here thought of-
like in LA, you go to shows and you're like, no, that person is unwell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's most
Oh yeah.
people in Hollywood.
You'll see a grown man have a full mental breakdown on
Yeah.
stage. You're like, I don't know what's happening.
There's
This
a
doesn't feel like a comedy
statistic
show.
that 33% of stand-up comedians have mental health problems.
Oh, yeah.
Which means that one out of us on this stage. Yeah.
Well, let me. 'Cause- So I have no family. I have no children. You
I
both
have 2 kids.
You have
and a
kids.
wife,
You have a
yeah.
baby. What is it like when it's on the? A serious question. Like, what is it like to be away from the family and to travel so much? and
So
to
I
tour?
miss my family, but I want to hear your answer. You said you don't think about them.
I don't. The thing about people want to know with the rapping, they're like, how do you do it? It's this weird thing where I just shut my brain off and it comes out.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I can do that. It's not good. It's definitely not good that my brain can do it. I can just not think about things. Like my wife goes to sleep, it takes her an hour to get to bed because she's replaying all the stuff that happened in her life that day. I just close my eyes and my brain turns off. Yeah. And so I just try not to think about it because, yeah, it's horrible being away from people that you care about. And I'm not, I'm these 5 days over here, 5 days I missed to be with my daughter. And I genuinely adore her. My gosh, very
What was that?
exciting.
Do you guys hear it?
I
What
know.
was that?
Yeah.
What about you?
But yeah, you just.
No, me, like, really, it's hard, man. Like, I really
You have three
love...
kids? Two
I have
kids?
2 kids, man. 2 kids. I love to spend time with them. So when I'm away, I try to FaceTime. I try everything I can, but
Yeah.
it's tough.
So wait, I want to go back to the. Oh yeah, you have a question? Yeah.
So what was the peak performance that you did? Each one of you must have had
Oh, like a bet. So for the people at home, if you can't hear him, the question was, what is one of our peak shows, our peak performances, our peak moments for our career? You guys have anything that pops up the top of your head?
Yeah.
I
many.
mean, yeah, you go first if you have something.
No, I say the first thing to me was my first competition in Hollywood after 3 months into stand-up, and I won with bringing, it was like your buddies could vote and all of that, and
Yeah.
I knew nobody. To me, that was a big deal. But then at the San Francisco competition, when I did in front of 2,000 people, the same thing, I called my mom and I'm like, wow, I did it. Like,
Yeah.
there's 2,000 people that actually like loved what I was doing. So I don't know. I remember those two. That's one.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have individual ones that stand out. It's more like the most recent one that you did well at. Like
Yeah,
a
no,
couple of days
totally.
ago, I live in New York, and I like sold out a room with people that had just come to see me, and it was an hour of new jokes,
Yeah.
and people liked it, and I was like, boom, there you go. And like each gig, like you're only as good as your last gig
Totally.
as a stand-up. Like you could have 13 years of doing stand-up, and then if a gig sucks, you think that's how good you are. at
Yeah,
comedy.
you're only as good as your last gig. Yeah.
So
kinda what
it's
it is.
hard to go like, oh, there's high points. Like you do this on TV, you do this in front of 2,000 people, you open for a
Yeah.
comedian that you love, and those are really big. But you can't stick on them because you don't want people to go, whoa, what was the best gig you ever did? It was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like you want it to be actually like this weekend I just did was really fun.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what you want.
No, for
was
me-
your best was the New Year?
No, honestly, the last 2 years have been really interesting because, and I think the moment that comes to mind is back in September, I did a show in New York. My parents live in White Plains. I've been doing this for a long time. They hadn't seen me perform in might have been more than 10 years. And my stepdad is ill. He has Parkinson's and he's wheelchair bound. So I didn't want to cancel the show because I was shooting a TV show at the time, but I went there and I wanted them to see me perform for real. And then it was actually one of the first shows that I did where people in the crowd were singing the lyrics to my song along with me. So then that got me a little bit emotional. My parents were there, and then after the show, there was like this line of people who wanted to take photos of me, and I just saw my parents over there just like watching with like a big smile on their face. So that like felt really, really good to make. No, for real, because.
Good. I won. Good.
No, stop. I told you I'd get it. I told you I'd get the standing ovation. I told you.
And all it took was for you to bring up family members with Parkinson's in a wheelchair. That's all it took.
That was my plan all along. Well, guys, give it up one more time for Armando and Chris. Show them some love.
And Morgan J.
We're going to see them in a second. I want to... let's turn the guitar on. Actually, we don't need it because they're just going to play violin in a second. But you guys can hear that? Is that all right? All right, well, you guys ready for one more song before we end this? This is the end of the show, song written specifically for this show. You guys, give yourselves a round of applause for being such a good crowd tonight. Okay, so when you see me do a full act, I do have the crowd sing along or participate, and you are going to sing for this last song. It's real simple. I'm going to go, it's the end of the show, oh, oh. That's all you have to do, okay? Let's try it real quick. It's the end of the show, oh, oh. Okay, we don't have a lot of singers here tonight, okay. No, I'm just messing with you. That's all you have to do. But I will cue you. I'll point to you when it's your time to do it. That way there's no confusion. So let's get it going. This song is called The End of the Show. It's the end of the show. Time to go home and you got the bill and you paid it. You're gonna go home and talk with your spouse. Which comedian was your favorite? There was the guy with the guitar, and you thought, man, I don't think I would like that. And there was an English guy who was really white. I can't believe that he could rap. And then there was a guy who was Persian and French, and honestly, I think he might be a little bit too talented. He speaks like 3 languages. Is it 3 languages?
Four languages.
4 languages? What the... And honestly, I know for a fact he plays guitar better than me. Armando, do you want to play the guitar?
Let's do it, man.
I told you he plays better than me. I'm serious. Armando, try this out real quick. Try this out, Armando. I'm serious. Listen to this. Guitar back, Armando. The guitar back, Armando. It's the end of the show. Oh, oh. Time to go home. It's the end of the show. Oh, oh. Time to go home. Okay, Chris, you want to come up here and wrap this up? Pun intended. Chris, come on up, grab a microphone.
Oh, lovely.
It's like a lovely date.
Yeah, okay, well, we're going to do a very quick freestyle. So
let's do a freestyle,
you've seen we can do it. This time it's over a guitar and a violin, so this is going to be delightful. This side of the room, let's get a suggestion from you. Anything at all. Crochet. Thank you. Crochet, that's not the... Okay, and then this side of the room, what are you guys going with? Pardon? Swing dancing, crochet and swing dancing. This is the whitest rap of all time.
Let's just throw standing ovation in there just for fun.
And standing ovation. Okay, cool. And basketball. Thank you. Just to kind of balance out the crochet and swing dancing. Standing ovation. Let's do this. Do the freestyle rap with these punks. We're gonna have fun, yeah. Do a free jump. I'm coming off from the line. Get a 2 and a 3. Steph Curry in the back. Can he play with me? We're having fun. Hip hooray. I got the needles and the wool. Do crochet. Maybe I'm good at the knitting. When it comes to crochet, yeah, I'm forbidden of touching that. Keep away from that yarn. No cause for alarm when I feel that charm. Yeah, feel the frustration. Morgan J, no standing ovation. Eventually, he got it later on. He was like, oh yes, it's begun. We're gonna have fun. I take my chance in. Take my lady swing dancing. She got those heels in the mini
skirt. She put the swing on, you know it can't hurt. She goes left and right, spin her around. That's a pirouette, that's my sound. We got a violin, we got a guitar. We got 2 guys, we got 3 stars. We're having fun now. Let's do this. The chorus, improve this. Yeah.
It's the end of the show. Let's give it up for Chris. Oh, it's the end of the show. Time to go home. Can we get a clap going? It's the end of the show. Time to go home. It's the end of the show. Time to go home. Let's get soft with it. End of the show. Time to go home. Guys, good up for yourselves, everybody. You saw it out. I'm Morgan J. We have Chris and we have Armando. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
Ready? Another bow. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Thank you.
Next time on Of
You
the
drive
Comics.
a Tesla, we ain't friends.
And I knew it was bootleg right away when we made the appointment because I'm picking him up for all the sessions.
White people, if you could choose to have one leg or be black, which one would you choose?
He demonstrating, talking about, let me get 5 of them.
I'm so sick of Tesla drivers. Like, they act like they all like, you got a Tesla, that's just a Prius driver that made it.
Let me get 2 of these.
They're like, take the leg.
Changed my life raising a white child. You know, I've got questions now. Is 75% SPF enough? Is it enough?
Black Lives Matter. What you mean by that? We picked the 3 simplest words we could find.
I'm listening to these all lives matter people like, maybe they have a point. I don't know.
Dancing one time, I thought this lady was feeling me. When we were dancing, she took my hat off and put it on her head. And then she walked off, started dancing with somebody else. I said, yo, give me my hat back. What are you doing? And I looked at her later on, she had on somebody else's chain. I said, oh, this girl going shopping. She's just walking off collecting souvenirs.